You had frosted tips.
Yeah. Who didn't at this time, Elizabeth? Who didn't?
I mean,
we all wanted to be Mark McGrath.
Your fascination with Jersey Shore just made so much more sense to me.
Yes.
Shocking. Hello and welcome to the Art of Casting Blogcast. I'm Elizabeth Joy Glass.
And I'm a member of the Mystery Inc. crew, Spencer Dew.
Oh, jinky, Spencer.
Zoinks. What's up, Elizabeth?
Oh, you know.
You would be Velma. That's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah. Even though I would want to look like Daphne.
Oh, no. Velma is so cool.
Velma is super cool, and I do love her look, but like Daphne has the perfect 70s vibe.
Right.
And I feel like that's kind of coming back right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, did I tell you? I bought pants specifically to wear to the Florence and the Machine concert.
Oh, okay.
That we're going to, and I don't think I'm going to wear them anymore because I remembered I had another pair of pants that I think I want to wear instead.
You're really preparing for this.
I am, Spencer. But they're these great black denim, wide leg, flare, 1970s Wrangler jeans. And I love them. And I got them towards the beginning of the summer. So I've been every time I go out, I'm like, where are my Wranglers? Feeling like a hippie.
I'm so excited for you to come out. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to see
close.
Florence. I haven't thought about what I'm going to wear, but that's probably because I'll decide a day of. I'm going to a lot of concerts in October at the Hollywood Bowl, actually.
What else are you going to?
It's quite a crew. I'm seeing Florence and the Machine.
Yes.
I just got my tickets to see Stevie Nicks. So
what?
October's going to be a month of tears. And then I'm seeing Pitbull. Should I have started with Pitbull?
Of course you are. I want to see Pitbull in concert one day. I'm mad that I missed it the last time. I'm mad that I'm going to miss it this time.
Pitbull puts on quite the show. I love Mr. 305.
Mr. Worldwide.
Honestly, though, he puts on an amazing show. When I graduated high school, my mom's gift to me was taking me to Vegas to see... At the time was what I thought was a Kesha show, but it was actually Pitbull with Kesha opening. We did not realize that till we were there. But that's when I became a converted Pitbull fan. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
He is a superhero. I
don't know anybody who hasn't listened to his music who's like, he's okay. It's he's amazing. Yeah. You can't be halfway on Pitbull.
Right.
You have to be fully a Pitbull fan or not at all.
You're either cool or you're not cool. So which side are you taking?
Speaking of sides, Spencer, what did we watch this week?
Well, if it was not obvious from the opening of our episode, this week we're continuing soft spooky season with perhaps the softest of spooky films we could give you. We are watching Scooby Doo from 2002.
Scooby Doo, Spencer, whose side were you taking at the beginning of the movie? Velma's or Fred's?
That's hard. Oh, no, it's not hard. Definitely Velma.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, this is like Pitbull. There's only one right answer.
Yeah. No, Fred was being a jerk. Velma is always right.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, gosh. I love this movie. It is one of my favorites. As Elizabeth said last week, one of my birthday gifts this year was just to make our friends watch Scooby Doo against their will. So that was enjoyable for me. It's just this movie makes me laugh. And it's having its 20th anniversary this year.
It had its 20th anniversary on June 14th.
Yeah, it's on its way to 21. So it's getting ready to start drinking next year.
Right? It's wild that movie is 20 years old because it doesn't feel 20 years old. So I was actually watching it this morning, down in the living room. My mom comes in and she was like, when was this movie made? because she looks up everything on IMDb.
Yeah.
And she couldn't find it. I was like, oh, it's right here. I was like 2002, and she's like, it doesn't seem that old. And it really doesn't. No,
it's not. It's very current. The comedy is hilarious. It's almost like they made this movie knowing that 20 years from now, the same people that grew up watching it, we're going to love it even more in 20 years. That's how I see it.
I agree.
And I think that'll make sense to you when I tell you who wrote the screenplay for this wonderful movie. But Elizabeth, first, why don't you give us a little summary?
I will, Spencer. Zoinks! 2 years after a clash of egos forced Mystery Inc. to close its doors, Scooby Doo and his clever crime-solving cohorts, Fred, Daphne, Shaggy, and Velma, are individually summoned to Spooky Island to investigate a series of paranormal incidents at an ultra-hip spring break hotspot.
Nice. That was real good. This is why you had to do the summary this week. I couldn't give the energy like you could.
I was not prepared to give that kind of energy till you wrote the opening of this summary with the Zoinks. You
would actually be surprised to know that I did not write the summary. I believe that is from IMDb. So IMDb was feeling it. Yeah.
Not surprised. You've given up.
Well, let's go behind the wardrobe. This film was directed by Raja Gosnell, and the screenplay was written by James Gunn, which a lot of people do not know. But this messed up movie is from the mind of James Gunn, which makes so much sense when you think of it like that.
Yes. Yeah. This movie made a lot more sense knowing with that information in hand.
Right. I mean,
only he could make something that crazy actually work.
Right. It's totally James Gunn's comedy. I mean, he uses the same kind of like witty humor in Guardians of the Galaxy to this day. So it all just makes sense. The costume designer for this film was one Leesa Evans. And I've seen her name 100 different times. And I'm like, how do I know this person? That's because she's designed costumes for essentially every film out there. She did.
This woman might be the costume design queen of the 2000s.
Right. She did costumes for American Pie, Josie and the Pussycats, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Get Him to the Greek, Bridesmaids, which, come on, 22 Jump Street, Neighbors, Trainwreck, Zoolander 2, Always Be My Maybe, The New Mutants, the new TV series Young Rock. She's currently working on a Powerpuff TV series.
Which I can't wait for.
Right? And she did costumes for Scooby Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. And on top of all that, I'm looking at pictures of her. She's like Amy Schumer's best friend. So Leesa Evans has it all.
She does. She does. Oh my gosh, I was on her website and like she seems like a cool person.
Yeah.
Like she just seems like so cool and hip. And I'm like, yeah. You did create all these amazing contemporary films.
Right. Leesa, where are you at? We should have had Leesa on the podcast.
We should have.
What's going on? We'll work on this. Leesa, if you're listening, please come on our podcast.
Please.
But with that, you will all probably not be shocked to hear that the costume design of Scooby-Doo was not a highly sought-after interview in 2002. However, we do have a few behind the wardrobe facts that we'll talk about, but either way, we're going to have a good time talking about Scooby-Doo.
Are you ready, Scooby?
Roll. Let's take a break.
We're so stupid.
What's up, costume nerds? This is Spencer, co-host and producer of the Art of Costume Blogcast. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We greatly appreciate all the support. If you want to continue in your support, you can become a costume maven at patreon.com/theartofcostume. There we post unheard bloopers, highlights, and bonus episodes for our costume mavens. You can even chat with other listeners and vote on future episodes. Head over to patreon.com/theartofcostume and subscribe now. Elizabeth, Elizabeth, are ready to meet the crew of Mystery Inc.
Oh, am I ever, Spencer?
They look so good. Really, one of our only behind the wardrobe facts is that Leesa Evans basically said through her rare interviews was that the original costumes we see the characters in are really inspired, have that 70s inspiration from the cartoon show. So you see these looks and like, yeah, those are the characters from the TV show, almost to the T. It's after the scene passes when they really start to get into their contemporary clothing.
Yes.
But this scene right here, which is followed up by Pamela Anderson, James Gunn really, very 70s.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is really just classic Scooby Doo looks. I feel like they get a little more contemporary when they get back together, but this is really classic. Daphne's classic dress, Velma's classic sweater. Shaggy always looks the same no matter what.
Wearing his bell-bottom pants, though.
Yes. I didn't realize he was wearing bell-bottoms. That's actually kind of cool.
Right. Very 70s. Fred, I mean, he looks like a 70s model at this moment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They all look so good. Daphne, to me, looks the most 70s, though, with that headband moment.
And the go-go boots? Oh, my gosh.
Right. It's so hilarious. So first, I think, let's just dive into each of our characters. Elizabeth, do you want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Let's start with the king of the crew, I shall say, Fred, played by Freddie Prinze Jr., one of my favorites. And, he really starts to pull out some contemporary looks once we get out of that first scene. And he looks great. He plays a good Fred.
He absolutely does. Like, he's funny in that kind of like dumb guy way. Yeah. Like, it's like, okay, Fred, you can like stop looking in the mirror for 2 seconds. You do have some smarts. Like, let's get going.
You're the leader of like a mystery solving team.
Yeah, like get it together. But I do love his wardrobe because, like you said, it stays 70s inspired, but it definitely has like a little bit of an early 2000s flair to it after that opening scene. But then I also love his like how do I say this? His Beach Boy look.
I was gonna say Beach Bro.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, what's up, dog? And dog?
So stupid. But I really love that one because it's like, oh, that's what every like Jersey guy looked like.
Right.
In the 2000s.
That's one of my favorite looks also, his like beach look when he's, possessed by the weird spooky island monsters. He has like a shark teeth necklace around his neck.
Oh gosh.
Glasses actually look pretty cool. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But what I love most about Fred's character and all the characters really is that Leesa really takes like their color palette and she really like takes it with the characters in each of their costumes, even though if it's not right on the nose, because Fred's colors really in the cartoons were white, orange, and blue, and the film she really like focuses heavily on the blue with like accents of white, and it just comes out so beautifully.
Yeah, I also love how she manages to include his ascot in like 90% of his costumes. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a really good touch. It's really smart costuming, actually, when you take the time to look at it.
It absolutely is.
Speaking of incredible costuming, my favorite character is Daphne, just because I'm a huge Sarah Michelle Gellar fan, SMG, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes.
So I love this role. And Leesa actually, one of the only interviews I could find was talking about, shocking to no one, Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, Daphne. She says about Daphne, in the beginning, this is from an interview from CNN. Leesa says, in the beginning, everyone thinks that she's all about style and no substance. But Daphne finds her independence, and by the end of the movie, she's gone pretty tough and can really kick some butt. Those are our behind the wardrobe facts this week, everyone.
Absolutely. That is definitely who Daphne is, especially like Like we said, that first opening look is very 70s, very cartoon inspired.
Yeah.
But when she gets to on the island after that year, her looks are still 70s inspired, but they definitely have like an updated appearance to them. Yeah. Nothing there would have been out of place in the 2000s.
No, I love her 70s inspired airport look. It is so good. I love this coat on her. It's totally not airport appropriate, but she looks amazing. Like, everyone's looking at her because she looks so great. And even like her headband feels like a little bit more updated. Those sunglasses that she wears, I need those.
You do need those, Spencer. Yeah, her headband, which was so 2000s. I feel like I said this the other week, but I had so many headbands.
Yeah, you did.
Growing up in the 2000s, it was the look. I often try to replicate, not that hairstyle exactly, but I got very close to it.
Right. It's giving like the Queen's Gambit right now, looking at her.
Yes. But then also her tracksuit, which I'm like, the 2000s were controlled by tracksuits. So
yes, I love that.
Yeah. I love her purple and purple. And that's what I love about Daphne, is like she wears one color, but manages to make that work somehow.
Right. She just really takes to one color and really takes it throughout the whole film, and it just works. I mean, even her like luggage is purple. It's just always purple, and purple's like my favorite color, so I'm screaming for it. I love the tracksuit fight scene where we get some real Buffy the Vampire Slayer moments.
Yes.
Leesa also said about Daphne, to show the passing of time, we gave her different silhouettes. From her palazzo pants and halter combo to her keyhole mini dress, bathing suit, and fitted jumpsuit, each of her outfits was custom made from vintage 70s fabrics in Daphne's signature purple and lavender palette.
I love that.
Yeah, really cool. I also like her beach look when she just like gets to Spooky Island and she has a big dramatic hat. It's almost like she went from 70s to like contemporary Daphne, just like from that plane ride.
Absolutely.
So good. All right, Elizabeth, are you ready to talk about Shaggy?
I guess he's the only person who does not change.
No, he doesn't really change. He has slight moments. So he has his like very typical Shaggy look, the green shirt with the brown bell bottoms, which honestly, Shaggy probably wouldn't have a bunch of clothes. He just loves to like sit in a van and eat and not smoke weed. Eyebrows. But he does have several costume changes. Like when he's at the beach, he just changes into like a green tank top. Which I think is hilarious. It's like, of course, all these characters just have like a closet of the same color, just in different shapes. And also we see Shaggy when he changes into one of the like Spooky Island cult members at the end with like this red look, which looks really unsettling when you look at it because it's not green.
It's not. It's very out of character for him, and like and whenever you see him in it, you kind of have to do a double take because you're like, no, Shaggy is green and brown.
Yeah, that's why Scooby Doo doesn't even recognize him. He's like, who's that? Okay, the character we're excited to talk about, Velma, played by the iconic Linda Cardellini, who is just perfect for this role.
She is. And I always forget she's in this because she does such a good job being Velma.
Yeah, she really transforms into the role. Velma wears a good sweater.
She does. But I do love when her body is taken over by one of the demons, that they give her a little bit of like a wardrobe update, but keep her in her colors.
Right.
I'm almost like, did they like go, did she actually have this in her luggage and they just for whatever reason bothered to go to her room and like wear her clothes?
The Spooky Island demon's like, I am not wearing this sweater.
No, they were like, this is too hot.
Yeah, but we still gotta wear orange though, so let me go find something orange in Velma's suitcase.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really good look, and it's like Velma, she looks great, and it like really plays to her that like bathing suit look too, but still very Velma at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real good. The hairstyle is hilarious to me. Those wigs are bad.
They're not bad. They're just different.
Well, we're going to take a little break. We have some spooky characters to talk about after
I gotta go eat some Scooby snacks. I'm hungry.
A Scooby snack. I'm going to go surfing.
Oh, have fun with that. That sounds obnoxious. I don't know. Surfing just seems too hard to me.
Okay. I'll go eat some Scooby snacks then.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Dan, audio engineer of the Blogcast, here to let you know that if you wanted to support the show, you can head over to theartofcostume.com/podstore. There you can buy some awesome TeePublic merch with the Blogcast logo. We have shirts, sweaters, coffee mugs, stickers, and of course, a baby onesie. Thank you for all of your support.
What's up?
Are you ready for some monsters?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this opening monster. I forgot how good it was.
Yeah, the ghost costume is like actually really cool. I would love to see where this costume is at now.
I would love to have that information too. And it just reminds me of like Victorian like clown dolls.
Yeah.
Which is like a whole other level of creepy.
That's actually really unsettling when you look at it.
It is. But it's played perfectly. And I love the special effects they give it to kind of like glow a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to see like where the costume starts and the special effects begin, you know? And I love that there's this actor, I don't remember his name, like Old Man Wrinkles or something underneath the mask too. So it's practical, but also has like its special effects to it.
I agree. But what was the like perfect piece on that scene was Pamela Anderson.
Right. This is a James Gunn touch right here. I don't know how Pamela Anderson made it into a Scooby Doo film, but I love it. It's perfect.
But she did. She probably loves Scooby Doo and was like, yeah, I'll be in a Scooby Doo movie. Who doesn't like Scooby Doo?
She looks great. This is typical 2002 Pam Anderson, honestly.
Yes.
Her hair looks great. She's just wearing like a white top. Nothing too fancy about it. She's Pam Anderson. She doesn't really need to dress all the way up to really bring the stage presence.
She doesn't. She is the presence.
Right. There is like a lace applique, it looks like, on her top. It's kind of interesting when you look at it.
Yeah. It kind of looks like a little web.
Ooh, yeah. That's spooky.
Ghostly web.
That's soft spooky for our soft spooky month.
Yeah.
What was not soft spooky was the people of Spooky Island. I mean,
my gosh.
I would not be comfortable staying on this island. Everyone here looks like they want to hurt you.
I know, especially these like skull mask guys that look like they're ready to like they look like they're ready to go to Coachella. They're glowing so much.
Yeah, or like Burning Man or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Burning Man. Yes, they look like they came straight from Burning Man. And we're like, I need a job now. Yeah. I guess I'll work here.
At Spooky Island. I would love to talk to Leesa about how they made these costumes glow in the dark. I bet you that was quite the process. Lots of paint, I'm guessing.
Probably.
It's very detailed costumes.
They definitely are. I did appreciate that the staff have very elaborate costumes on Spooky Island.
Yeah. And one character I always had a hard time figuring out was the bald gentleman with the tattoos on his head. He has like a very interesting like kind of like velvet like vest.
Yeah.
And he's such a scary guy. And in that one scene, he sits down and starts playing on a grand piano.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love that scene every single time because you think he's about to do something like super bad.
Yeah.
And then he's just playing like classical piano.
You're like, are these people supposed to be staff members / actors? Or are they all actually evil? I still to this day, 20 years later, do not know.
I don't know. I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
But what was scary and evil were the monsters of the island. Oh my gosh.
Right. Very unsettling. Used to, actually, when this came out, it used to kind of creep me out, honestly.
They are gross. They're gross. They're kind of goofy, but they're gross.
Kind of goofy. I think the first time you see them with the like long, bony fingers kind of gets you. Well, also, what doesn't land with me is the like luchador character. I don't know. But then when you think about it, you're like, it's a Scooby Doo show, and there was always random characters and random costumes. So because it doesn't make sense is why it makes sense.
Yeah, no. Didn't make sense, but made. It didn't make sense. But when you say it that way, it's like, yeah, Scooby Doo does do weird stuff like that.
And then we also had a cast of just side characters that were just kind of in and out of the crew of Mystery Inc.'s lives throughout their stay on Spooky Island. One of them, who we all know and love, Rowan Atkinson, who played Mr. Mondavarius, he had a very interesting costume to me.
He did. I'm sorry. I just looked at IMDb and never realized that was Isla Fisher. In this movie. Sorry.
Elizabeth was shook for a second. I was like, you good? I thought you were just so blown away by the presence of Rowan Atkinson.
Well, I was just shocked because even today when I was watching her, and I was like, man, I like know I've seen this actress and other stuff, but like I just wonder what she did after Scooby Doo. Like, I hope she didn't just like not have a career. And it's like, oh wait, she definitely had a career.
Yeah, she definitely had a career.
She's Isla Fisher.
Her character's looks were beautiful. I love that they used a lot of pink for her in every single outfit.
Yes.
Even though she was a side character, the costume designer still was like, each character has a color palette, and they're going to stay within that palette.
Absolutely. She's very solidly 2000s, but with like a 70s flair, where I feel like the main cast is like 70s with a 2000s flair.
Right.
So I love that she kind of did the opposite with her.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Like, everyone's kind of flip-flops.
Yeah. But back to Rowan Atkinson.
Well, Isla Fisher's character gives me like kind of Christina Aguilera 2000s vibes a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. 'Cause she's blonde. I don't think I've ever seen her blonde except in this movie.
Right.
And it really changes her appearance.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Mondavarius, though. Sorry, sir. We're coming back to you.
Yeah.
He is like typical like 70s again, like hotel manager to me. I mean, I just watched The White Lotus. Same character, just different setting. He's Halloween. He's, Hawaii.
Yeah, I agree. This is also very typical 2000s, like all the new tech guys who are like starting to like make a bunch of money. And it's like they started that trend of like kind of dressing nice, but still wearing like the t-shirt and unbuttoning like their shirts. So I felt like it was very much that like, yeah, I'm rich, but I'm cool and down to earth.
Right. The textile on his jacket is so interesting. It's like a dark green sequin. It kind of gives like spooky monster scaly look to it.
Like a snake because it's a certain Scrappy Doo underneath that mechanical skin.
Yeah, you're right. Puppy power.
Oh my gosh. I forgot how annoying Scrappy Doo was.
Yeah, well, he gets his at the end. So
he does, rightfully so.
Was he annoying in the cartoons? I don't really remember. I think so.
I don't remember either. I feel like
actually, now that I'm remembering, yeah, he definitely was annoying.
I don't remember. I feel like the cartoons I watched, the Scooby Doo's I watched didn't really feature him because he's not in a ton of it.
I used to watch Scooby Doo all the time, which probably wasn't hard to guess.
No.
What is hard to guess, though, there is one character who is definitely flirting with Velma throughout the film. I cannot figure out the name of this actor nor the name of this character, but all I know is that he wears a Led Zeppelin shirt the entire film from beginning to end. I love you for that, sir. That's a badass, like, early 2000s rocker tee. He's still going with the grunge. He's not giving it up. Elizabeth's doing some investigating. I don't know, Elizabeth. It's going to be hard to find.
Yes, give me a second.
Somewhere the actor's listening to this and he's like, it's me.
All right.
You figured it out?
Yeah.
All right. Who is it?
That is Charlie Cousins, who is credited as the character Velma's friend.
All right. That answers so many questions. Velma's friend. Well, Charlie Cousins, they really did you dirty with that one because I felt like your character at least deserved a name.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, your purpose really wasn't very big in this film, but...
No. And I mean, he's always just like orbing up on Velma to be like, hey, what's going on? She never asks his name.
Right. And it's also confusing, too, because at the same time, James Gunn's talked about this a lot, but he's explicitly said that he's trying to make it clear that Velma was gay, but in like a 2002 sense. So like it really flew over people's heads.
Yeah.
But James Gunn was clear from the beginning who this character was. It's just all confusing. And for some reason, he's in a Led Zeppelin shirt. I have some questions, actually. We got to get Leesa on the phone.
We do. Although I feel like Led Zeppelin was a very popular shirt in the 2000s.
Of course, yeah. It's just like, it, to me, feels like it's there for a reason. And I don't know what that reason is. And I'm going to have to write an essay on it. Something, though, that is clearly there for a reason. Mark McGrath and Sugar Ray is there. This is their time to shine. It makes complete sense that they are there in all their Sugar Ray glory. I just cannot with this.
This is another thing about this film that I always forget. And then they pop up and I'm like, oh, yeah. It also reminded me that every early 2000s movie targeted at the young adult teen market had to have some sort of like boy band moment.
Yeah. I'm having flashbacks to when I had Frosted Tips, and I'm like, it was probably around this time, honestly.
You had Frosted Tips?
Yeah. Who didn't at this time, Elizabeth? Who didn't?
I mean,
we all wanted to be Mark McGrath.
Your fascination with Jersey Shore just made so much more sense to me.
Yes. If you're listening to this and you had Frosted Tips, please message me. I want to have a chat.
Yeah. Wow.
One other mystery we need to solve. Do you remember that scene where everyone's on a plane and Scooby Doo is dressed up like it's supposed to be Fred's grandma or Shaggy's grandma?
Just the grandma, I think.
Someone's grandma.
I didn't understand why they had to disguise Scooby. Like, I feel like that was an arrangement they could have made with the airline. Because this is clearly a, like, Spooky Island direct flight.
Right.
Like, why did they have to pretend? That lady had a cat. No, he didn't need to pretend to be a person.
Scooby-Doo would not have fit in like a typical dog kennel cage, though. Scooby-Doo's a big dog.
No, but Scooby-Doo was personally invited to the island.
Oh, right.
I think they could have allowed him to sit in a chair.
Right. Okay, well, my first question, actually, before I get into it, looking at this picture, Velma's wearing like a cool 70s coat. I didn't realize she had another coat. Looks good on her. Good for you, Velma. But do you think that Scooby-Doo's grandma dress was practical?
Probably.
Do you think there was an actor running around in this grandma dress with like a Scooby-Doo hat on?
Yeah, I think so.
I love these are things I just think about at night when I'm in bed.
Scooby-Doo grandma dress, practical or no?
Yeah. We got to get Leesa on the phone. I have some questions.
Oh my gosh.
And with that was 2002's Scooby Doo. I hope you all enjoyed this quick episode as much as I did. I just think it's another underrated costume design film, and it's time that we give the costume design its cred.
Yes.
But before we go, Elizabeth, we have to play our favorite spooky game. Are you ready?
I am, Spencer.
Let's do it. Hit it, Daniel.
The one costume to rule them all. Spencer, my one costume to rule them all was Daphne's tracksuit.
Oh, yeah. I actually guessed that from you. I had a feeling.
Because it's the moment of her coming into like her badassness. She tells us at the airport, like, I'm a black belt in karate now. And it's like, you almost have this like, oh, yeah, sure, Daphne.
Yeah, no one believes
I'm sure
her.
you took some self-defense classes. But no, she's actually a black belt and like pulls out all her moves in this beautiful tracksuit. That is so her, so 2000s. And just, she rules in it.
Yeah. She looks amazing. She goes full Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It really gives you everything you want to see in this film. You weren't expecting it from Daphne. And that's why it's so badass. And that tracksuit gives her the ability to do everything she couldn't in her like typical dresses, you know?
Yeah.
My favorite look is this 70s inspired airport look she wears with the purple luggage, purple coat, purple headband, and those purple sunglasses I want so desperately. I remember seeing this for the first time in like 2002, and I all young Spencer was like, oh my gosh, that look is so sickening. So like it's just to this day I'm like, that is a look. And it just feels really high fashion.
It does.
You know? Like the costume designer really has an eye.
Yeah. That's one thing you know about Daphne. She has family money.
Yeah. Well, just when people think of this film, they're, you know, I'm sure some people even who listen to us are like, why are they choosing Scooby Doo? But they really do like some really subtle high fashion moments that are just subtle. And you have to really pay attention to really see like these really great costumes that all share like similar color palettes.
Yeah, it's a movie that paid a lot of attention to its costumes, but because, you know, it's not some grand costume film or period piece, it just kind of went over people's heads.
Right. Well, it didn't go over our heads. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. And if you want to tell us which one of these costumes was your favorite, leave us a voicemail at 626-515-1826. I want to hear what your favorite costume was.
Spencer, what are we watching next week?
Well, Elizabeth, I am pleased to say that our soft spooky season is getting gradually spookier. We have a real Halloween classic now. I am so excited to say that we are finally talking about one of the greatest costume design films of all time, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice! I can't wait.
I'm so excited. This film is everything. And I'm shocked that we waited this long to even talk about Beetlejuice, honestly.
Me too. But until next week, if you miss us and want some extra content, you can follow us on Instagram at The Art of Costume Pod, on TikTok at The Art of Costume. If you want to hear our voices in a whole extra episode every single month, you can check out patreon.com/The Art of Costume and become our patron. If you need a little like snuggly blanket or sweatshirt, because it's getting chilly outside. We're heading into spooky season. Unless global warming is still, you know, destroying everything. It's getting chilly. And so you can head to theartofcostume.com/podstore and pick up some of our merch to keep you warm in these hopefully cooling months. If you liked what you heard, you can leave us a little 5-star text review on Apple Podcasts and or Spotify. We would really appreciate that. Everybody, have a spook-filled week.
Ooh, and help yourself to some Scooby snacks. We have plenty of extras, so
yes.
Enjoy.
The Art of Costume Blogcast is hosted and produced by Elizabeth Joy Glass and Spencer Williams. Our audio engineering and editing is done by Dan White. Follow us on Instagram at The Art of Costume Pod or visit theartofcostumeblogcast.com for all Blogcast updates. If you want to support the show, go to theartofcostume.com/podstore. Or you can head over to patreon.com/theartofcostume for some bonus content. For more costume reviews, deep dives, and interviews, head over to theartofcostume.com, a blog dedicated to highlighting the best in costume design.
Oh, that's so rude, IMDb.
Right. Uncredited role.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Should I pause my recording?
No.
Okay.
Daniel can cut out the dead air.
I just want to fly.
Found it, I think.
Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby.